All right, Dogs win 75-70 over Valparaiso. Coach Scott, thank you here. Take some questions. Go ahead, bud.
All right, Scott, how big was that run looking back on things to end the first half?
Well, it was big, but, you know, we also have to we got to act like winners. And so to have a run like that and have everything going well, and then for us to go down there and get a technical, you know, it just is you have to learn how to win, and that's not how you win. And so, you know, there's some frustration with that. I want to go in and be happy at halftime, and, you know, now I've got my ire up because I'm so fired up about that. Our level of maturity's got to be better if we want to be consistent winners. And then we got to shoot free throws better if you want to be consistent winners. You know, it was a grimy, ugly game. We kind of take pride in that, you know, that's just who our team is. We just live with it. But it shouldn't have been that close based on making free throws and defensive rebounding. Because our defense was good.
I was going to ask about your defense. It seemed like the first shot defense was pretty solid, right?
You know, it has been most of the year. It really has. We just have, and they're desperate in the second half. They played that way, and they played. When you're down, you know, you're just a better offensive rebounding team. You just chase the ball harder. It's just a human nature thing, and so it takes more concentration on your defensive effort in terms of blocking out and not just turning and chasing the ball.
Kind of like you guys were in the parts of that game at Murray State Monday night, where you kind of played to that desperate edge. Did you?
Well, you have to. You're 0-2, and then, you know, and then 0-3, and so you knew they were going to be desperate. We were going to be as two desperate teams, and I just felt like when we got the lead and we had an opportunity to push it out, we just didn't have the maturity to do it, and that's what's got to change about our team. We need to make free throws, and we need to handle success better, and even success in the middle of a game where you make a three, instead of celebrating, get back and get your defense set, and like we can celebrate after the game. There just is. We just need to grow up some, and we'll get to that. It's much easier to teach those lessons when you win than when you lose.
Kelron didn't play a lot in the second half. Was it kind of a situation where you liked what other guys were giving you?
Yeah, we felt like Jalen was playing good, and you know, Kelron was struggling a little bit. He seemed like he was low, a little bit low on his energy, you know, and he just can't carry us all the time. And so, you know, our bench played great today. If you look at the plus-minus numbers, it was our bench that carried us today. Yeah, you know, we obviously moved Sykes back to the bench, and I did it for his sake. Because when he started, he wasn't playing well. When we bring off the bench, he plays great, and he gave us a huge boost right when he came in the game today.
Coach, you mentioned it was an ugly win tonight. You guys got Belmont next. What's one thing you definitely want to see change before going into Belmont?
You know, they're physical. They got a couple big guys inside, very physical players. Mostly, I just don't like being out physical, and I feel like, you know, Valpo's, we knew they were going to be physical. We feel like they're one of the most physical teams in the league. And there were just times where I felt like they were more physical than us. Now, it's helped to have Prince back. We didn't hardly have any physicality when we didn't have Prince in those two early losses. But having him back has helped our physicality. But, you know, they really shoot it. We just have to beat other teams that really shoot it other ways. And everybody knows it. Everybody knows we're not shooting the ball great. So, you know, we don't take a ton of threes. That's fine. We just got to get more. But we got to start making our free throws, or we won't win consistently.
Coach, there at the end of the first half, you know, you mentioned the technical. Did he ever say what that was about?
No, but I'm sure. You know, the officials just said we said something to their player, and our guys know that like, we've watched the video on it. We show the whole team you can't talk, you can't taunt, you can't do that stuff, and that's where I just say it takes a level of maturity when things are going well just to handle it well and not run your mouth.
Coach, and then you mentioned your bench play. You guys scored 30 points off the bench, and it seemed like every time there was a sub, you know, you're subbing 3, 4, 5 guys out. Was that just keeping the legs fresh and trying to get this team on the run where they can execute and get in transition?
You know, it's normal for us. We don't, you know, I look down here, it looks like the most anybody played was 26 minutes. That's not normal for me normally, but it's normal for this team this year.
And Coach, you mentioned a little earlier start 0-3 to start the conference season. How nice is it to get the lid off that jar and finally get a
It's great. The fans were great today. You know, we want them to show up, but you also have to give them a reason to show up. And if you want respect from people and officials and fans, you have to earn it. They don't just hand it over. And we feel like we're getting closer to that, but we're not there. We're not there. And so there needs to be a lot more fight in us.
And Coach, you mentioned the struggles from the free throw line. You heated up towards the end of the game there, but the three-point line has been a point of contention all year. What's the message of the team to fix that? What's the remedy for that?
Well, there's no like you guys that can shoot it. You tell them to keep shooting it, and you don't take that away from them. There even has to be the threat for other teams. Like we still, everybody knows like this guy shoots it well. He just hasn't shot it well at this point. We still have to guard him. We have to be able to spread the floor. And so those guys have to continue shooting the ball. And, you know, Drew's had a game where he's made 5 threes in a game. And so everybody knows it. We obviously need to get Zay going. I think today may have helped a little bit. But, you know, we don't shoot a lot of threes. I feel like we take pretty good ones, you know, and the one Mayo hit late was the biggest one of the game.
Perfect. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep.
Is there